this one. And I'll have to say again, the veto actually slightly favoring KOVA GG. If this goes all the distance, which there's really good potential of a third mapper, considering that Vertigo probably going to go in the favor of KOVA. Dust 2, one of the best maps for Endpoint right now. They currently have a 100% win rate on it over 6 maps in the last 3 months. So that will probably go in the favor of Endpoint. Third and final is going to be Train. Very strong map for any Finnish lineup. I think we got a banger on our hands now. Let's see how it pans out. It is going to be Peku with the first couple of frags. Catches a double here. Thomas, we're missing his weapon. See if we can get that fixed as soon as we have a break. Durkips, I mentioned it before, a little bit earlier today. Durkips is absolutely brilliant. He hits some 6 shots. He does hit a nice little double this time around as well. It's going to be Pitola and Twixie up against Thomas. Thomas has gotten a triple. He needs the ace. Thomas definitely the pistol warrior for Endpoint. We saw that in the previous matchup as well. But it is going to be Twixie to eventually shut him down. KOVA, I'll pick up the pistol on the T side of Vertigo. And as I said, Vertigo, I'm a fan. I like this map. I know that a lot of my colleagues and a lot of the guys that I look up to in the industry hate this map. I love it. I absolutely love it. KOVA picking up the pistol. It's gonna help them out here on the T side. Going for double Galil, double AK, a single SMG. Pitola using a one-way smoke down towards B ramp area. Peeks out, find the first on Surreal. Robin deciding to go for a bit of aggression throughout middle. Ulip just watching for the flank. Mighty Max. His weapon is missing as well. See if we can get this fixed. Bit of a slow one here for KOVA GG. They found the first couple of frags onto Robin and Surreal, but then slowing things down ever so slightly, and now finally making a move in towards the B bomb site. It's completely open right for the taking. Thomas, Mighty Max, and Crucial. Gonna try and see if they can find an exit frag. Something like that. It is a full eco here for Endpoint. Haven't really invested anything into the round. So anything they can grab is just gonna be a bonus. I pick up an SMG, but that's probably the worst possible outcome for them. Had they gotten a Galil or an AK, they would have definitely saved it. But the SMG here for Thomas, we might actually see him just dropping it and upgrading instead, and that is gonna be the case. We got a bit of a technical timeout now, so we're gonna use this time to go on a short break and just to try and fix the weapon situation so it shows up. But yeah, we'll be back in just a moment, guys. We are back on the server now, and everything should be fixed. Luckily, we got the, well, I didn't even ask for it. The teams just decided to do a technical. Apparently, they had some issues as well. And it should be fixed now. We can do a quick check on it. Thomas was one of the players who was missing a weapon before. We can see it now. I think it was Crucial, the other guy. I'm not completely mistaken. Actually, it was definitely Mighty Max. It should all be good now. So we're good to go. Thankfully, we got it fixed immediately. Crucial with a nice little triple spray down towards the A ramp area. Pitola catches one on to Surreal. Pitola looking for a bit more. That's a good headshot on Thomas as well. Okay, triple entry towards the B bomb site. He takes it upon himself to open up completely, and essentially shut down the defense over towards B. Mighty Max has taken a lot of damage as well. Ulip, the bomb was dropped over towards the A ramp area, so he picks that up, and he might actually be considering just dropping back. Oh, the nade. Mighty Max on 1 HP, and it looks like indeed Pitola, he drops back from the B bomb side. He's going to wrap around back towards A. Ulip goes for the plant. This is a nice little high IQ move. All thanks to, well, quote unquote, thanks to the bomb being dropped in a bit of an awkward spot. Okay, Ulip. Nice spray down. Good timing there. Mighty Max was just on 1 HP, so anything hitting him, even a flashbang would have taken him down at that point. Nice peek from Crucial as well. He's on a quad. He's looking for the ace now. Pitola looking for the quad of his own. Crucial tapping the bomb. But it will be Pitola to shut him down, deny him the ace, and secure another round on the board for KOVA. KOVA picking up the first gun round. This gives them a brilliant opportunity. See you guys in the chat with the 1 spam. Oh, I've missed that. I remember in the good old days, we saw it every time one player was on 1 HP. The chat would go absolutely mental. Doesn't happen too often nowadays, but I like to see you guys trying to bring it back. That's always lovely. Pitola again, just watching for the angle over towards the B bomb side. And as we do see a bit of aggression coming through from Endpoint. He finds the double opener. Dirk Hips and Peku. A couple of frags of their own, 1 each. It's now going to be all on Surreal, left alone in a 1-on-5 situation. Surreal, definitely a strong player, also with the Desert Eagle, but probably a bit too tall of an ask this time around. 1-on-5 situation, not a whole lot he can do about that one. At least on paper, there shouldn't be. Yeah, he doesn't even find his first frag for the game just yet. Twixie eventually will shut him down and secure yet another round on the board for KOVA. That's going to be a clean round as well. And as you can see on the right-hand side, that just helps them with their economy as they move forward. Already a decent amount of money built up here for KOVA GG. An Endpoint, obviously finally enough money to buy up again. They need to find a round on the board, and they need to do it somewhat quickly before the money runs completely in the favor of KOVA GG. This time around, KOVA, again, just like in the previous, deciding to go for something a bit quicker towards the A bomb site here. Endpoint, this time around, deciding not to go for too much aggression of their own. Instead, they're just gonna sit back, let the aggression come to them. Decent positions here from Endpoint over towards the A bomb site. Robin still watching at middle. No one's coming his way just yet, of course. So we do have the entire KOVA lineup setting up for an execute towards the A bomb site. Bit of an incendiary molly exchange. Flashbangs out. Mollies again. Now, KOVA with the aggression coming through. Mighty Max, he gets caught in the side by Twixie. They have already pushed up towards the bomb side. Dirkips, he finds one. Thomas from above. He does connect on Dirkips, but quick trade coming his way from Twixie. And now Robin picking up the AWP, and he's out of touch, out of harm's way. Falls back to relative safety as Surreal still sitting back towards the B bomb site. KOVA completely running over Endpoint in this round. Even though Endpoint tried to maintain control of the round by just falling back rather than going for the aggression and the early peaks down towards the ramp area, they just held back behind the smokes. KOVA, they know the angles, they know exactly where they need to spray to potentially hit someone, and they do it pretty well. Good timing on the peaks as well. KOVA picks up yet another round, and it's another fairly clean one. Just losing one player. Once again, it's just going to help them with their economy. Let's see that we do have a lot of Finnish fans in the chat. And before we get too far into this one, I actually want to hear you guys who you're rooting for. So let me know in the chat. Use hashtag KOVA or hashtag Endpoint to show support for the team that you're rooting for in this best of 3 matchup. It is for all the marbles, so to speak. Well, it is for a spot in the close qualifier at the very least. That would already be a really good shout for any of these two teams, honestly. Crucial. Nice angle there. He finds the opening too. Takes care of Twixy and Peku down towards the A ramp area. Burkips setting up for the smoke. Flashes over towards the B bomb site. Two-pronged approach is what I'm trying to say. Sola catches one on Thomas, but Surreal from the back of the bomb site. He peeks out at the right time, lines them up for the headshots, finds a triple, and secures finally the first round on the board here for Endpoint. What I was trying to say is a two-pronged attack from KOVA on that one. One player through middle, just jumping out the window. And eventually all of them actually through the one opening from the B bomb side. It could have been interesting to see the player in middle try and get a wraparound on the bomb side. Will be the first round on the board, as I said, for Endpoint. Obviously still plenty of money here for KOVA. Buying up is not an issue. Still have a decent amount of residual cash left over. It's a nice tag on Crucial. Ulip knows the jumping angle. Pretty good tag from him as well. Twixy deals with Mighty Max. Good start to the round here for KOVA. Decent amount of damage dealt to Robin and Crucial as well. Some damage dealt to Ulip and Durkips and Twixy. But still definitely looking a little bit better here for KOVA than it does for Endpoint at this point in time. But Thomas tries to change that. Tries to bring it back in favor of Endpoint. It totally looks a bit confused. Not 100% sure what he was doing there. Ulip, though, he's in a good spot. He's sitting up close in middle. Has pretty good potential of finding a flank towards the A bomb side, perhaps. Twixy. It's an important kill. Thomas should have definitely got that one. Twixy. Yet another Crucial gets taken out. Beautiful headshot there from Twixy. In the meantime, Ulip gets dealt with, so no flank from KOVA towards that A bomb site. And again, Robin and Surreal, just like they did a couple of rounds ago, more or less forced to fall back. Just hold on to their weaponry. It's going to be the AWP and the AK-47, and a bit of utility behind them as well. A really good start to the game here for KOVA. And as said, obviously Vertigo, the map chosen by KOVA, so it makes pretty good sense that they are the favorites on this one. It's still one of those maps that not a whole lot of teams actually play yet. And when a team does play it and are comfortable picking it against it, I would probably say Endpoint and KOVA roughly on the same level-ish. I would give a slight edge to Endpoint, just considering that they've been together for a bit longer. They've played they've definitely played more official matches. That being said, KOVA played very well yesterday. The last game in the previous round, KOVA, they won against Japolino. That was yesterday. Today, they beat Skate 16-13 on Train. And as I said, this rings true for pretty much every single Finnish team, at least like outside of tier 1. Do we actually have any tier 1 Finnish teams left? I saw Tommy in the chat earlier. He probably disagrees with me, but ends, really? Like, how much have we seen from them in recent time? But most Finnish lineups actually are pretty strong on train. A 1-for-1 trade goes slightly in the favor of KOVA here, as they do find a second. It's Peku and Dirkips both with a frag to open up the round. I say open up the round, it's fairly late into it. Roughly 30 seconds left on the clock. They need to get the ball rolling somewhat soon. Crucial. That should have been an easy kill for Crucial. That shuts him down. Patola, he goes down to Robin. It is a 2-on-3 situation, and as I said, some of the players on KOVA, they've taken damage. They are sort of soft here. Robin, it's an important kill onto Peku. Not really any reason there for Peku to go to the P. Dirkips, he oversteps his boundaries massively. And now it's going to be all on Ulif. He needs to come up big time, but it is going to be Surreal and Robin, both with a double. And finally, another round on the board here for Endpoint. 6-2. KOVA obviously still sitting in the pole position. Still in a pretty comfortable lead. At this point, we gotta be thinking about the economy. This is one of those classic swing rounds where there's not a ton of money left over for either of the two teams after buying into this one. And that obviously means that the winner of this round have really good potential of picking up 2 in a row. If Endpoint wants to bring this one back, this is a fairly important round for them. Pitola again, very strong on his headshots over towards that B bomb site. Four on 4, a 1-for-1 trade fairly early into the rounds. Surreal and Crucial, they've both taken damage. Crucial with a big miss in the previous round. He doesn't make that mistake in this one. Crucial still trying to find an angle here. Does connect once again. Pitola gets taken down. More players close by. Twixy, he also needs to come up fairly big. Crucial posted up. That's his 4th for the round, but Dirkips, this is exactly what I mentioned with Dirkips. Sure, he's like 17, but he's so mechanical in the way he plays. So calm and collected in pretty much every single moment. Hits some nice shots here and there, but obviously with a flank coming through, not much he can do about that one. And indeed, it does go in favor of Endpoint. Okay. Didn't I just say in the previous matchup that I'm not a fan of hero AK-47s? I don't know why that's become a meta. We see it so often nowadays. Oh, okay, Crucial. Doesn't even need his AWP. Uses the P250 and finds a wall bang headshot with a P250. But yeah, again, the hero AK-47, it rarely works. And it's so expensive. Look how much money KOVA used in this round. Look how little they've gotten out of the investment thus far. Pitola does manage to find one. The HP is so very low here for KOVA. Pitola still trying to connect, still trying to find those heads of the Endpoint players. Thomas spots an elbow, takes the life. Robin with the final frag for the round. Again, 4 players surviving here for Endpoint. It was a heavy investment for KOVA GG. They didn't really get a whole lot out of that investment, considering that they bought up on almost every single player. They decided to go for a lot of utility, and most of the players actually died while still holding on to that utility. A bit of a rough one there for KOVA. And honestly, definitely not the right decision in my opinion. Durkips. Oh, okay, Durkips taking a lot of damage, but he finds the frag in Crucial, and Ulev, that's a gnarly shot, excuse me, on Robin. Pick up a lot of weapons here. Heku, it's a killer surreal as well. Thomas finally deals with Ulev. In the meantime, it's a 3-on-2 situation. Thomas, good opportunity. Oh, he spots the player on the back of the side. He could potentially find a headshot here. He almost takes him down, but Pitola is there for the trade. Shuts out Thomas. Mighty Max taking care of the planter. Bomb has been planted, though, and that means that the timer is now running low for Mighty Max. Oh, Twixie needs to be careful. Could potentially get peeked. Not gonna happen though. Mighty Max, he peeks around the side and finds the frag on Pitola. Is he gonna stick it? Of course he is. Pros don't fake. If that's the proof you need, there you have it. Mighty Max is definitely a pro. No fake this time around. Goes straight on the defuse. KOVA GG, very good round though. Wasn't even a full buy. Again, it was the hero AK on Peku, as he did have a bit more money than the rest of them. Decided to go for the AK-47, the rest of them on mostly an eco, or what I like to call them in buy. They were just saving up their money for this round, and they still managed to bring it down to a 1-on-2, actually favoring KOVA, getting the bomb plants and giving themselves a lot of money and hurting the economy quite substantially for Endpoints. That's a scary sight. Just, yeah, on Nate. Coming directly towards you, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. You can shoot the nade. That is actually possible. Mighty Max taking a lot of damage from Molly and the follow-up nade. First couple... Well, the first frag and bit of damage goes in the favor of Endpoint, but now a lot of damage dealt towards both Mighty Max and Thomas. KOVA changing up the pace, trying to make it work over towards the B-bomb site. Oh, more damage dealt towards Thomas, but they do go for the boost up on top of that plywood or whatever it is, plaster wall. Peku finds one on Surreal, but on the flank it's Robin to connect on Ulev. Twixie hands his back, but Crucial is there with his AWP. Peku, last man standing. He's gotten a double. He needs the quad. That's not gonna happen. Crucial hitting a shot pretty much out of this world. Crucial is so strong. Such a fast AWPer. So quick on his peaks. Almost a pre-fire on that one. A bit of an off angle as well to pre-fire. Wasn't quite a pre-fire, it was just like crazy fast reaction. But yeah, 6-6. We're all tied up in points. It looked incredibly good for KOVA GG to start off with. Then they, in my opinion, made a pretty big mistake in going for the hero AK buy and more or less forcing up on the rest of the players, but not really buying anything. It's kind of a weird situation because they all except for Peku used all of their money. They only had one AK and one SMG. They could have actually had a couple of Galils, a couple of AKs, but I think it might have been like a misclick or a hero buy that turned into we probably should buy all of us because we actually got a decent amount of money. Either way, obviously that previous timeout was called by KOVA GG. It was a tactical. We are back in the action as Surreal opens up with one onto Pitola. You have a slower start to the round here for KOVA GG after losing a player fairly early. Yeah, could go for it. Go for the wallbang. I want to see a wallbang in this game. Derkins. Oh. How does he do it? How does he go for those 180 spray downs and hit the headshot? Yesterday when we were covering KOVA GG on this channel, KOVA hit some insane shots. I think if you check the clip section, you'll probably find them fairly easily. Now, Robin, Surreal to try and see if they can retake the A-bomb side. Surreal, he taps the bomb, but he's not gonna stick it this time around. Ulip and Peku, synchronized shooting there. Finds the final 2 frags at pretty much the same time. That's gonna be KOVA back in the lead. 7-6. Good opportunity for KOVA to find another round, considering that Endpoint's economy is more or less in shambles. Don't have a whole lot of money to work with. They are definitely gonna go for mostly an eco here. As I said, mostly an eco, because they do invest into 2 P250s. But that's it. No utility. No other weaponry. Vehicle, good reaction to Robin going for the flank attempt. Tola deals with Surreal. That's a good shot from Mighty Max. A double dink on the USP. That is what it takes when you're only wielding a USP. Durkips patiently watching for it. It's a good first frag. He spots the second as well. Finds that one. Again, pretty calm and collected here from Durkips. As he was just waiting for his teammates to go for the rotation back towards the A-bomb site. Finally, they arrive, and they are going to throw that bomb down on the bomb site. And leave it up to Thomas to try and see if he can get anything done. I think Thomas have decided, you know what? Gonna use this as a tactical timeout, kind of. Just sit back and hope that they chase me down. Hope that I can maybe get an exit frag. Use the time to talk with the team and figure out exactly what we want to do for the next round. Obviously, that's just me speculating.
Terrorists win.
But the thing is, we gotta keep in mind, there's not... Did Durkips throw away his weapon? I think he might have. I think Durkips actually accidentally threw his weapon off the ledge. That's interesting. I mean, it is the final round and they have plenty of money, so it's not a big deal. It's just... It just takes you by surprise, or at least it takes me by surprise when that happens. Either way, 8th round on the board here for KOVA. Final round for the first half as Twixy sprays through the smoke. He knows if that smoke is thrown in that position, there's one using it as a one-way. Flashbang out. Mighty Max gets taken down. A lot of damage dealt towards Twixy and Pitola. It is the final round for the first half, and Endpoint. They're not sitting in a good spot currently for this round. As we mentioned, going into this one, KOVA favorites here on Vertigo for sure. I would probably say that they're favorites on Train as well. And that, in theory, means that this should go in their way. But obviously, Counter-Strike is a fun size. Anything can happen in a good game of Counter-Strike. By anything, I mean that Endpoint could potentially bring this one back here on Vertigo and just take a straight 2-0. Let's see how it goes. As for the final round, it is Peku to P again, finding the frag on Surreal. Thomas answering back. Okay, Thomas. Okay, Thomas. Pitola does take care of Thomas, and Robin decides to not just tap it, but fully commit to the defuse with his back turned towards his enemy. It will be KOVA GG picking up the final round for the first half to make it 9-6. The half started off really well for KOVA. They made a pretty big mistake, in my opinion, in the middle of the first half. That cost them... They would have probably lost 2 rounds either way, but I feel like that mistake that they made lost them an extra round that they didn't need to. So it could have been a little bit better here for KOVA. 9 rounds on the T side is not bad at all. Obviously, at this point, we are just waiting for the players to ready up so we can get the second half started. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to encourage all of you to hit that follow button if you're watching over on Twitch. You can do that over at twitch.tv/ESL_CSGO. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification thingy. While we're on a bit of a break here, you can head over to Twitter as well and follow at ESLCS. They're posting a bunch of clips over there. They're keeping you guys updated on these qualifiers for every region. So if you miss anything throughout these qualifiers, that's where you'll find the updates. If you want any updates on schedules and all that good stuff, you can head over to ESL-1.com. Over there you can find all information about any ESL 1 events, including the Dota Major. Isn't it a Dota 2 Major?
Counter-terrorists win.
I know that ESL 1 got like a really big event in Dota taking place in Los Angeles very soon. I think I saw someone tweeting about it being a major or something. I'm not 100%, okay? Not a massive Dota fan. I follow it whenever it's on, but other than that, I don't really follow it too much. Either way, enough about Dota. Let's get back to what it's really about, to the better esports. Let's get back to Counter-Strike. Roll that. GG. Gonna be on the CT side this time around. Endpoint deciding to go for something rather quick towards the A-bomb side, at least initially up towards the ramp here. Surreal, that's a good kill onto Peku, very important as well. And Robin, it's gonna be on a bit of a flank. Needs to be careful because Pitola is on the rotation. XC connects on to Crucial. Okay, Surreal, that's a nice shot, but the bomb has been denied for now. Ulip and Pitola both very busy with Robin on that flank. Mighty Max does catch the one on Pitola, but Ulip gets the trade, and it's now going to be Ulip against Robin. Still roughly a minute left on the clock. Plenty of time to work with. Robin slowly sneaking, creeping his way forward. Trying to find an angle here. Ulip getting a little bit lucky with the timing, and now he spots his opponents. Getting a little bit unlucky perhaps with the shots there. Could have been a kill. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Wasn't. Ulip goes down. Robin, well-placed headshot to finish off the round. Endpoint, they hold on to the pistol. Initially was looking pretty good for Endpoint in the pistol. But back and forth it goes, and a fairly competitive pistol round here for the second half. Endpoint pick it up. That's obviously going to help them as they move forward. To have KOVA forcing up here for the second round, where we saw Endpoint going for a full eco in the second round. So that's just one of those things that goes to show that KOVA knows exactly what they're doing on this map. Normally that smoke that was just thrown, typically you just throw a ghetto smoke, so to speak. Like you just run and throw a smoke in a certain area. You don't need to be super precise, and it almost always lands like roughly a bit further down typically, actually. But as you can see, KOVA lining it up means that it lands perfectly where it's supposed to, blocks every single angle. They can't peek above it, they can't peek on either side of it. One of those small things. Again, just goes to show that KOVA knows what they're doing here on Vertigo. Thomas needs to be careful. Gets dinked through the edge of the wall. Good shot from Dirkeps, but a quick trade coming his way from Mighty Max. Twixie taking a lot of damage. Trying to deal some with the 5-7, but not having a whole lot of luck just yet. Good shot from Peku. Bit of an overkill. The player was incredibly low, but still connects the headshot. Thomas needs to praise himself lucky that he didn't get tagged there. He was incredibly low on HP, still is. Now Twixie and Ulip falling back, deciding to hold on to this 5-7 and the SMG for the next round. Makes perfect sense, because the next round is going to be a full eco for KOVA. So whatever they can hold on to into that next round is just going to be a bonus, of course. Thomas dies. I could have told you that. You'll take a bit of damage if it's planted by default when you're sitting in that position. Thomas does go down, and that actually hurts the economy quite a bit here for Endpoint. Good on KOVA for managing to keep the economy somewhat in check, but this is the real test. This is where they need to do it more than they did in the previous round, because they are mostly on an eco for this one. Nade toss. Bit of a nade trade, actually. Flashbang as well. That flashbang is so good. Thomas, he catches a double crucial with one. And already so much economical damage dealt to Endpoint. That flashbang caught 4 players completely blinded. Endpoint with 2 players remaining. It's a good one from Thomas. Peku gets shut down, but Thomas... Chat, you know what to do. 1 HP. Pitola P250 now, picking up an AK-47 and a molly, actually giving him a pretty good chance of getting something done, dealing some damage. Thomas, he peeks out. Ooh, he spots his opponent, but obviously as he was incredibly low on HP, it's not going to help him out. Surreal sitting over by the corner boxes. Peeks out at the right time. Finds his opponent with his back turned towards him. And Endpoint ties it up at 9. But again, as I said, very well played in the first couple of rounds here for KOVA. GG. They've managed to keep the economy so low for Endpoint that after buying into this round, Endpoint are actually pretty much broke. Vitola with a bit of aggression down towards the staircase. Sitting in the corner, patient waiting for his opponent to peek out. And as he does, he takes him out. First frag for the round does go in favor of KOVA. Twix here forced to fall back as he does take a bit of damage from the molly. He hears the players pushing closer and he's forced to fall back further now, but Thomas already in a good spot. Thomas catching the double, almost a triple here. It's going to be Mighty Max to finally shut down Peku. Yes, Ulip. Such a smart decision, I love it. Knows that his opponent is forced to fall back as soon as he gets the bomb plant, so just spray through. You know the rough angle. There's only one route for him to escape. 2 on 2. They do have a kit on Ulip, but Ulip gets taken down. The kit is actually very close towards the bomb site, but a lot of damage coming through as the spray continues. Pitola eventually gets taken down. Again, a fairly close round here, and again, that means that the economy gets kept in check. Still not going to be a whole lot of money remaining here for Endpoint. So at the very least, sure, Endpoint, they've gotten 4 rounds on the board now in a row. Gotten the first 4 here for the second half, and that obviously, it's pretty good for Endpoint. But at the same time, KOVA have managed to keep the economy so low on Endpoint that it just takes 1 round to break it. 1 round in favor of KOVA, and they'll be right back at in a comfortable spot, honestly. The reaction here from Surreal. Good on the second as well. Pitola does manage to find 1 before he's taken down. Bit of damage onto Surreal. Goes down to roughly 50. Yeah, cool. That's a good shot onto Surreal. Finally shutting him down. And again, if KOVA can manage to find 1 more player in this round, they've once more kept the economy somewhat in check. Actually not sitting in that bad of a spot still. Oh, that should have definitely gotten that one. I praise Durkeps for being incredibly strong and more or less mechanical in his aim. And there he failed completely on the creek. Peku. Okay, calm down, buddy. You do have an AK-47. He decides to go for the one-shot potential with the Deagle instead. Maybe that cost him. But we gotta keep in mind he was unarmored. But obviously that means that a single shot to his toe will mean that he can't really control his spray at that time if he were shooting with the AK. Decides rather to use the Desert Eagle. The round does go in favor of Endpoint. That's their 11th. Again, the economy is so low for Endpoint. So low, in fact, that they're going for an SMG buy in this round. Just to make sure they have a bit of extra utility to work with. Twixy with the follow-up smoke. Does hit the mark. Now Endpoint setting up for the executing towards the B bomb site. The smoke wall, if you will, fairly common smoke wall here, lands right next to the vents. Eventually they are going to be setting up and pushing in for Pitola. The defensive smoke at the angle here from Pitola Ulip as well, sitting on the side itself. Lining them up for the triple. It's a 2-man ace, and it's a wall on the B-bomb side. Pitola and Ulip shutting it down. Aggression barely coming through before it's taken care of immediately. Very good defense in that round from KOVA. As I said, The economy has now successfully been broken. Endpoint, they're forcing up, but it's with 2 SMGs and 3 upgraded pistols. And they don't have a ton of utility either. That's a good first frac. Twixie gets taken down. Oh, almost connecting here, Durkips. Does actually deal some damage, but slightly more to the left there. Could have been a fairly clean-cut headshot. Thomas. It's a great kill on Durkips. Very important. Fairly low HP on the players here. Pitola does have a nade, but he's still fairly far away. Had he been a tiny bit closer, this nade could have actually dealt a lot of damage. Barely deals any. Thomas still survives, even though he was the one sitting closest to it and the one lowest on HP. Oh no. KOVA falling back. I mean, not that it's a horrible decision for KOVA. In a 3-on-5 situation, and you're trying to retake the A bomb site, it's not an easy task. I say oh no, because this was a round that Endpoint had pretty much no business winning. It was a force buy with 3 pistols, 2 SMGs, and they take it down in style. Tactical timeout now called from KOVA. They're just trying to wrap their head around what just happened. Don't worry, I am as well. Once again, I want to remind you guys that this is a best of 3. You can see it underneath their names at the top there. Underneath this standing, you can see a best of 3 series standing thingy. Some stars indicating how many maps they've won thus far. Seeing as it is the first map of the series. They're both blank. Map obviously chosen by KOVA. We mentioned that a couple of times already. Second map will be Dust 2, a very strong map for Endpoint currently. So I feel like it's incredibly important for KOVA to take the victory here. And as I mentioned earlier, if KOVA picks up the victory on this map, they actually have a really good chance of securing the victory overall. Because the third and final map, if we get that far, will be Train. But for now, they still have a pretty good hurdle. Lose 2 players fairly early to Thomas. Makes it even worse. 3-on-5 situation with only 1 defender over towards the A bomb site and 2 over towards B. That's a beautiful peek from Thomas. It's a triple for the round. Oh baby, a triple. Now it looks like it is going to be the 13th round on the board for Endpoint as well. Endpoint on their T side towards the end of this one, they're looking incredibly sharp. Maybe KOVA losing a bit of steam at this point. Or maybe they've already lost a bit of steam. KOVA definitely not looking as sharp as they did yesterday. In their last couple of games yesterday, they looked incredibly sharp. 13-10. Endpoint. Just 3 rounds away from shutting this one down on the map chosen by KOVA. GG. Again, it is a best of 3. It is for a spot in the closed qualifier. Right now, it is looking really good for Endpoint. We want to remind you guys as well that we do have other games going on. They're going to be starting in roughly 15 minutes. We got 2 quarterfinals to figure out what the next semi-final is going to be. 2 quarters are going to be Eagle versus Pompa and Lyngby Vikings versus Apex. The winner of each of those matches will be going through to another semi-final that we'll cover on this channel. But obviously the 2 quarterfinals, as they're starting in roughly 15 minutes, we can't cover them here because we need to find a winner of this one. As I said, right now it is looking good for Endpoint, but KOVA, they do manage to answer back. It's Bitola who does find the frag on Thomas. Fairly important kill. Thomas has been a bit of a thorn in the side of KOVA for the last couple of rounds. Now the aggression coming in towards the B bomb side. Durkips, as he's pushed up in towards the window, does catch the frag. With 1 as well, and now Twixie on the flank. He connects on Surreal. It's going to be all on Crucial. Crucial left alone. Catches the first. Gonna be looking for a little bit more here. He needs to find 2 more. He needs to find the bomb. Pick that up. Spots his opponent. Doesn't shut him down. Doesn't catch the angle. Twixie returns the favor. Picks up the AWP. Throws it over to Peku for the next round. It will be the 11th on the board now for KOVA. Very tight game, this one. Exactly how we want it. Said already in the previous, the quarterfinal that we showed on this channel, which was Fake Makinas versus Endpoint. That was a very close and interesting matchup, and I told you in that one, if that was a short or small taste of what we were going to get for the day, we had a pretty sick day of Counter-Strike ahead of us. Right now, it looks like it might have been a taste of what to see, of what to come. This first map between these 2 teams, definitely a close and an interesting one thus far. But I must admit, Durkips is looking a bit not necessarily lackluster, but he doesn't look as great as he did yesterday. To say that he does find 1, but a quick trade coming through. It's rubbing through the plywood. Ulip on top of the site. The reaction from Ulip connects onto Crucial. But in the meantime, as you can see on the minimap and right here on your screen, Crucial, he's rotated back over towards the B bomb site. Flashbang in is going to keep rubbing at bay for just a moment, but Surreal still sitting on the back of the site. Still looking for the angle, and he finds it. That's the bomb dropped. I mean, Surreal, he has to push forward and find that bomb. Does eventually do it. Takes a lot of damage in the process. Ulip, that should have been an easy kill. Eventually, he finds it. Again, a bit too close for comfort. A bit of DM there towards the end. Not necessarily because they're frustrated. I think in that situation, because they're happy they secured the round. And happy that they're actually in a decent spot to bring this one back and potentially tie it up. Time around, it's a bit of a low buy here for Endpoint, and that means that they decide, at least initially, going for a bit of early aggression. Doesn't really work out for them as Twixie finds the double, one of them with a molly. The other one, straight up bullets. Peku. Good kill without taking any damage as well. That's some nice shoulder peeks from Mighty Max. Just tapping away, finds the one on Peku. Again, not as sharp as he was yesterday. That would have been an instant headshot yesterday. Yesterday he was on one, so to speak. Ulit with the final frag for the round. 4 players survive here for KOVA. Fairly secure round for KOVA. Weren't really in a whole lot of danger throughout this entire round. Makes sense considering Endpoint were on an eco mostly. Just some upgraded pistols, that was about it. But last time Endpoint were on a force buy, they actually managed to secure the victory. Again, I want to give a shout out to the community casters for helping out with the coverage of the other games going on. Give you guys a bit of a trick here. If you got 2 monitors, you can watch multiple games at the same time. You can even do that if you only have a single monitor. Just pull it up. Either one window next to another on one monitor, or using like an extension like multi-twitch. If I was a viewer, I definitely wouldn't want to miss this action. But at the same time, I probably want to follow along with the other games as well. Twixie taking a bit of damage from that molly. Kind of an ugly molly in the opposite direction. Missed opportunity there. Crucial. Surgical precision. Nice little flick onto the head of Twixie. Crucial has been so incredibly impactful in this game. Flashbangs up towards the bomb side. Peku up close and personal. It's going to be Thomas to shut him down. Thomas taking a lot of damage in the process, but Mighty Max, he deals with Durkit. Not before he finds one onto Crucial, but Ulit and Pitola, 2-on-4 situation, probably just got to fall back. I could imagine that maybe we see Pitola going for a bit of an attempt of a flank here. Maybe we see him set up for a potential exit frag down towards the A-ramp area. But Ulit is definitely just going to hold back and hold on to this creek. There's no reason for Ulit to go on a hunt here. And it will be another round on the board for Endpoint. 14-13. Back and forth it goes. KOVA more or less forced to force. If they want any chance of winning this one in regulation, that is. Very late into this first map. Already been live for 3.5 hours. And we haven't even cleared 2 maps yet in total for the day. That's pretty sick, honestly. It just shows exactly how close these games have been thus far. The first game that we had, once again, was Endpoint against Fake Makinas. And that one ended in double OT. Going in the favor of Endpoint, of course, which is why they're here now. KOVA, they were up against Skade, and that one went 29 rounds, so almost going the full distance of regulation. This one has potential to go the full distance of regulation as well. we're actually getting a sound cue from the players. As one of them slightly oversteps into a molly. So it's spraying through, does deal a tiny amount of damage. Nothing major, really. Oh, there we go. Robin. His spray down works. Getting a bit lucky in that one. Peku. Deal with Surreal, but quickly traded out. Finds a second as well on Thomas. He's very low here, Peku, and eventually he does fall. Brings it back. Slightly in favor of Endpoint. Ulip. Oh, Ulip and Petula both catching a frag each. Robin does trade out with Ulip, but Petula is there to shut him down and secure the round in favor of KOVA. For the majority of this round, I actually thought it was going in the favor of Endpoint. First of all, going into the round, Endpoint had better equipment, better weaponry, more firepower. In the middle of the round, they had more kills. But at the end, they're slightly going in the favor of KOVA GG, and they managed to hold on to it. They'll secure the 14th, and that means that we're secured at the as a bare minimum, all 30 rounds to be played. And now the question is, who's gonna close it? Or are we gonna see another OT situation? Endpoint deciding to not play for overtime, deciding to buy up for this round. Obviously a bit of a force bias. They do have 2 players on SMG. Lip allowing for Pitola to go for a bit of a peek over towards the B ramp area. Molly here and a re-smoke over at A. Damage dealt towards Thomas. Very important round for both of the teams because there's no money left over after buying into this round on either of the 2 lineups. So obviously the winner of this round have a really good chance of closing out the game. Like this. Oh, they almost line up for the double headshot. But Durkips is quick on the trade. Durkips with the triple spray down. And is now going to be all on Robin, and crucial, but Robin rushing through and jump shot, headshot onto Durkips. It's now all on Ulip, Peku and Pitola. Ulip and Peku, they don't even need Pitola, they shut it down and secures the 15th round map point for KOVA. Now actually getting that bomb plant here for Endpoint is, again, apologies for the horrible dad jokes or puns or whatever you want to call it, but very important, or some might say crucial, for Endpoint to find this bomb plant. Gives them so much more money to work with as a team for this final round of regulation. Gives them an actual chance for a good buy in this round. Rather than having to go for just SMGs, they actually get a couple of rifles in here. 2 AK-47s, a Galil. Another Galil onto Mighty Max. Actually, not a bad buy here for Endpoint, but obviously mostly due to getting bombed down in that previous. Otherwise, it would have been a different scenario. Pitola spots 1. Falls back to relative safety, but obviously with the gap in the smoke here, Surreal can peek out and shut down his opponents. Pitola still sitting right behind the smoke. Robin, good timing on his peek as well. Durkips gets taken down. Robin trying to find an angle, but it is going to be Peku. We're stuck in a weird limbo between a couple of the players there on the camera. Itola still watching the angle here. Still have one player watching over towards the A bomb side, and he's fairly aggressive. It's Twixie. He might come in clutch for this one. Peku finds one, but Twixie, he's one and done as Thomas does get the trade, but it's back to a 2-on-2. And Thomas has taken damage himself. He's down to roughly 50. Peku, I don't think he was spotted here. On the flank, it's going to be Pitola, but it is going to be Peku up close towards the bomb site. Crucial going for the plant. Peku actually have a real possibility of finding the frag, but he decides to wait for his teammate instead. Pitola on that flank as mentioned. He's already in a good position. Does find the first, spots the second as well, shuts him down. KOVA takes the victory on Vertigo. Their own map pick secures it 16-14. I say secure because this was, that was close. Could have gone either way, but it will be KOVA taking the victory. GG, well played.